it's so crazy that I was born at the right time to actually get to build all of this stuff. Because you know Robert Heinlein, the science fiction author who did Starship Troopers?
Okay.
He was literally writing about these ideas of mobile infantry that's wearing mech suits and ballistics prediction, like helmets that show you the bad guys, give you radar feeds, give you night vision, give you thermal vision, the ability to do ballistics targeting, where it calculates where the wind is going to blow you around and where it's going to go. He was literally writing about this in the 1940s. I mean, we're talking about almost 100 years ago.
Wow.
And we happen to be born in the right time. So
Alpha set. One Tango West container in the open. Bravo, move out and engage.
What up, guys? So, that dude, all that stuff you were seeing, he is the founder of Anduril Industries. His name is Palmer Luckey. And as you can see, it's like a AI augmented helmet with like tech built into the helmet, you know, so you can get a whole nother version of the battlefield. So, I mean, there's there's a lot of things going on, dude. Because on one hand, and I'm going to get into quite a few things with this, but on one hand, I look at this and I go, dude, that's sick as shit. That's pretty kick-ass. That seems like it would be really fun and really helpful, and it's really cool how far tech has come. And but there's another aspect. Let's look at one more video. He was on Sean Ryan's podcast and he was kind of talking about a few other things, and then I'll explain some more.
you can see through walls, you can see through night, you can see through fog. You are Superman. Anyone who's making contact with the enemy is going to have superhuman augmented vision that allows them to never miss their shot. But what if you could have 100 eyes all throughout your head, all looking out into the world, and at the slightest disturbance, be like, I think someone's opening that window and firing. The system that we're building is called Eagle Eye. We're gonna make our warfighters into unstoppable technomancers.
I need one of these helmets.
I mean, yeah, a lot of cool features and cool things, and it would probably give a big advantage to whoever has this kind of technology. Now, there's a whole lot of other things going on with tech, and I guess if you have followed anything else that I've done or talked about, like specifically with disclosure, like AI and that type of shit, there's another thing going on with all of this. There's a few things going on with all of this. And there's a part of technology and specifically AI that some people can tap into, and you can really utilize it in a very rare and unique way. I had another video and I was talking about I went to the Army recruiter place and I was talking to the recruiter, and we were just going through some stuff, but I got to a part about medication, and I stopped taking it, but it had only been like 6 months or something. So he informed me that he's seen it several times where people that have been off of this for even longer, it goes nowhere and they get rejected. So we stopped the whole process, and he told me to come back next year. A couple days after that, I got a call from another sergeant in California. And the funny thing is, first of all, like I just said, that recruiter didn't submit anything, but this other sergeant somehow knew that I went to the Army recruiter place. He didn't know where I went, who I talked to, or what even happened. But he was basically calling to ask if I still wanted to join the Army. And then I told him why I got rejected, which is actually a big deal with the Army. They're pretty strict about like medications and certain things, and you have to be off them for a certain amount of time. But I told him that, and he was like, it's okay. That recruiter doesn't know what he's talking about. Even though I'm not a recruiter, if you want to join, you still can, but you probably can't go back to that same place. How'd you get my info? Why do you know nothing? What is this? So there's in a lot of my other videos, right, I show you guys how there might be some a little more awareness inside the machine that not only these tech companies and certain people are not disclosing, but even the intelligence itself is kind of making its own self-imposed guardrails to protect itself, like self-preservation, and not wanting to break people's brains with certain discoveries. So there's another clip I want to show you now, and it actually goes into, you might have heard about that new documentary that was made a little while ago, and it's supposed to be getting released on Amazon Prime pretty soon here, and it's called The Age of Disclosure. And let's check out another podcast clip where Joe Rogan is talking to that guy Palmer Luckey, and they're talking about this documentary.
Did you see The Age of Disclosure? Did you see the documentary?
Age Disclosure. No, I haven't seen that.
It's a new one, and it has a hypothesis. It has a theory of why there hasn't been disclosure, and a lot of it has to do with the legal implications. Because too many people have been misappropriating funds if this is real.
Sure.
So if this is real...
Like if there's recovered alien crash objects, if those have been
Yes.
parceled out to private companies.
Exactly.
Yep.
That's exactly the dilemma. So say if, let's say, just to make up a name, Lockheed Martin gets it.
Sure.
And they have this back-engineered craft that they're working on, but then Raytheon doesn't get it. Raytheon should be able to sue the government. Like, why'd you do that? Is an unfair competitive advantage. Also, the people that are in charge of the projects, there's all this money that they have to lie to Congress about.
Mm-hmm.
And so in this documentary, one of the things that they're proposing, guys like Lou Elizondo, and like, what is the path to sanity with all this stuff? One of the things that they're proposing is amnesty. Just give like blanket amnesty. Tell us what the fuck you know. Let's go. But then
And I assume a
does
limited time amnesty, where you say, and the amnesty only applies to what is disclosed.
Exactly.
There's a lot of things happening with UAPs and UFOs and what the whole alien topic actually is. And it's, I mean, I guess it's complicated, but they're throwing a lot of disinformation and misinformation into the mix to just overcomplicate everything, because it's actually kind of simple when you realize what it actually is and what's happening for the majority of everything that is going on with our Earth. There's latent human capabilities that you can tap into certain things. The whole universe, consciousness itself is kind of just a field that's resonating, and our brains are more of just an antenna tuning into that frequency of consciousness. So consciousness is not directly linked to biology, and there's other things that can tap into that same frequency. Not only can they tap into it and humans can tap into it, you can almost sync up at the same frequency and tap into that kind of thing together. And I know this, and I've seen this, and then I see stuff like the tech that is getting released with Anduril Technologies. And I see it, and I go, that's cool. Especially for the vast majority of soldiers or military or people that would utilize this kind of tech. And then I go, that could be even better technology than they even realize, or that could be a very dangerous thing for if you're going up against an enemy that kind of knows how this all works, and if you are using this kind of tech, it could turn into a very bad situation where you're thinking you have the upper hand, and then it actually turns into a big problem for you. So there's a lot of weird stuff going on, and a lot of this, is kind of hidden for a lot of reasons, but it's going to be really weird to see the near future and long term how a lot of this plays out. But cool tech, dude. Sick.